The room was too quiet for how many cameras were watching. Elon Musk adjusted his tie without looking up. He was not nervous. He had done this before. Congressional hearings were just another version of launch countdowns. Pressure, eyes, and the knowledge that one mistake could go public in real time. Across the room, Representative Jasmine Crockett tapped her pen once on the desk. Her aide stood behind her, still and tense. This was supposed to be her moment. "Mr. Musk," Jasmine said, her voice crisp, "do you believe your companies are above the law?" Elon blinked slowly. He waited 2 seconds before answering. "I believe in the law," he said. "I just don't believe in politics masquerading as accountability." The first ripple of tension moved across the room. Reporters glanced at each other. Jasmine leaned forward. "So when your platform allowed threats against elected officials to stay up for days, was that accountability?" Elon's mouth tightened. Not quite a smile. Not quite a frown. "I can't control every comment on the internet, Congresswoman. But I can control what I stand for. And I stand for speech." Jasmine didn't blink. Her voice sharpened. "You stand for profit and chaos. And when people get hurt, you hide behind algorithms." The hearing room was silent. Somewhere in the back, someone coughed. Elon leaned into his mic. "You want control. I want innovation. That's the real difference between us." For a second, Jasmine's hand hesitated over her notes. She had been warned Elon would try to flip the narrative. But not this early. And not this effectively. "Let's talk about control then," she said. "Specifically, how much control you exert over regulators behind closed doors." There it was. Her first card. Elon paused. He knew what she was doing. She was building something. A sequence. A collapse. But she had misjudged one thing. He was not afraid of collapse. And the moment she realized that would be the moment, she started to lose control of her own story. "Rajesh." Jasmine placed a document on the table. She slid it forward, slow and deliberate. "This is a transcript of a private meeting between your lobbyists and senior members of the FCC," Jasmine said. "You weren't supposed to know about it. But we got the notes." Elon didn't move. His face remained perfectly neutral. Jasmine continued. "Your team offered incentives to delay a ruling that would have forced transparency in your platform's algorithms. That's not innovation. That's manipulation." Elon looked at the document. He didn't touch it. "Do you believe innovation can survive without risk?" he asked quietly. "This isn't risk," Jasmine said. "This is a billionaire bending the rules while pretending it's disruption." Elon leaned forward now. His voice stayed calm. "You think you're defending the public, but what you're really defending is the illusion of control. Your side creates bureaucracy faster than we create technology. And when we move too fast for you, you accuse us of corruption." Jasmine's lips pressed together. "People are not data points," she said. "No," Elon agreed. "But you treat them like votes. I treat them like minds." For the first time, there was a shift in the air. Not applause. Not outrage. Just uncertainty. A subtle question in the silence. Was he making a point? Jasmine heard it too. And that terrified her more than his confidence. Because she had built her career on clarity. And now, in front of the world, that clarity was starting to blur. She tried to refocus. "You've fired dozens of safety engineers. You've removed critical oversight functions. You've turned a global platform into your personal experiment." Elon finally spoke without pause. "And you've turned a government into a courtroom. One where verdicts are declared before questions are even asked." For a moment, Jasmine didn't speak. She stared at Elon, searching for the edge. The point where confidence became arrogance. The moment where the crowd would stop listening. But she didn't find it. Because Elon Musk wasn't just answering her. He was reframing her. And the cracks in her empire were not where she thought they would be. They were starting from within. "Rajesh." The cameras zoomed in, but neither Jasmine Crockett nor Elon Musk seemed to notice anymore. What was unfolding between them no longer felt like a hearing. It felt like a test. Not of policy or power, but of belief. Jasmine adjusted her mic. "Let's shift," she said. Let's talk about the communities harmed by your platform's failures. Misinformation, hate speech, targeted harassment. Elon nodded once. I'm listening. Jasmine's voice dropped. Not in volume, but in force. You're not listening. You're waiting to respond. And while you wait, people suffer. Elon didn't respond right away. When he finally did, his voice was flat. I know people suffer. But not because of me. Because of the world. You want me to be the villain because it's easier than facing the systems that failed long before I ever logged on. Jasmine's eyes narrowed. You built the system that made it worse. Elon looked directly at her now. No. I exposed the system that was already broken. That line landed hard. Jasmine knew it would resonate outside the room. It was crafted for that. Every word Elon spoke was calibrated for the echo chamber beyond the Capitol walls. But Jasmine wasn't done. You exposed nothing, she said. You profited from chaos. And now, when accountability knocks, you dress it up as victimhood. For the first time, Elon's eyes flickered. Just for a moment. Are you accusing me, he asked, of playing the victim? I'm accusing you, Jasmine said, of being too powerful to claim persecution and too privileged to understand responsibility. A sharp silence followed. Even Elon seemed to absorb that one. But Jasmine didn't press further. Instead, she looked down at her notes, then closed the folder entirely. She didn't need them anymore, because the question in her chest was louder than anything on the page. What if this hearing wasn't about exposing Elon Musk? What if it was about proving herself? And what if she was starting to lose that battle? Not because she was wrong, but because truth alone had stopped being enough. Rajesh, the tension had shifted. It was no longer Jasmine Crockett pressing Elon Musk. It was the weight of something quieter pressing on Jasmine herself. A staffer handed her a new document. She barely glanced at it. Elon noticed. You're not reading from the script anymore, he said. Jasmine looked up. Her voice was softer now, but not weaker. No, because I've realized something. This was never going to go how I planned. Elon tilted his head. Why is that? Jasmine didn't answer right away. Then she said, because I thought the truth was enough. But you changed the rules. Elon shrugged. Or maybe I just stopped pretending the old rules worked. The audience didn't know what to do with that. Because this was not a victory or a defeat. It was something murkier. Something harder to clip into headlines. Jasmine leaned forward. Her voice was steady again. You talk about systems as if they're machines. But they're made of people. Real people. And when your platforms fail, those people carry the cost. I know, Elon said. Jasmine paused. You say that too easily. I say it because it's true. Her jaw tensed. She wanted to believe he was deflecting again. But there was something different in his tone now. Less defense. More weariness. Do you ever regret any of it? She asked. Elon blinked. Once. Slowly. I regret trusting the idea that innovation would speak for itself. Jasmine leaned back slightly. That answer was not what she expected. Not from him. And certainly not here. In the space between them, something had shifted. Not respect. Not yet. But maybe recognition. Because despite everything, Jasmine understood what it felt like to carry too much too fast. To try to lead, and lose pieces of yourself in the process. And for the first time since the hearing began, she saw not just Elon Musk the symbol. She saw Elon Musk the person. And that realization came with a cost. Because it meant she would have to decide whether this was still a takedown. Or something else entirely. Rajesh. The room felt smaller now. Not because it had emptied, but because the noise, the hunger for spectacle, had faded. Jasmine Crockett looked at Elon Musk and felt the strange, unsettling stillness that comes after fire. Not peace, but the moment before you decide what still matters in the rubble. She spoke quietly. You know this hearing won't change anything. Elon nodded. I know. So why did you show up? Elon's voice didn't rise. It barely moved. Because even if the system is broken, silence makes it worse. Jasmine looked down. And for the first time all day, she didn't feel like the one in control. Not because Elon had beaten her, but because he had forced her to see the part of herself she kept buried. The part that had once believed in clean victories. The part that now understood the cost of every one. She glanced at the cameras. At the staffers. At the folders of research she hadn't touched in hours. Then she closed them for good. I didn't come here to win, she said. Elon raised an eyebrow. Why did you come? Jasmine looked at him without armor now. To make sure you saw what power looks like when it's held accountable by something more than outrage. Elon didn't smile, but he nodded. Once. Then I saw it. The hearing chair called time. The gavel struck once. The room began to stir. But Jasmine didn't stand. She stayed still as people around her moved, packed, whispered, and prepared their headlines. Because something inside her had shifted. Not her ideals, not her mission, but her understanding of what it meant to face someone who refused to be the villain she had prepared for. And in that moment, as the lights dimmed and the microphones went silent, Jasmine Crockett felt the truth land fully. Her empire hadn't collapsed because of Elon Musk. It had cracked under the weight of expectation. And now, in the silence, she had a choice. Rebuild it for the cameras, or rebuild it for herself.